So my first question, which this is the one I'm most curious about, what or rather who inspired you to be a strength and conditioning coach?
So when I moved from Hereford to Kansas, I finished high school there. So my senior year and 2 months of my junior year, there was a strength and conditioning class. And Coach Cottrell, one of the football coaches, taught the strength and conditioning class. I learned how to do the Olympic lifts, and it's like, well, this is kind of cool. So then I did it my senior year. It was just part of our daily class schedule. And then once I got to college, we had a strength coach. And so I just started working with him during the summer and working summer camps and changed my major. And yeah, after my freshman year, and the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, and before you landed here, you kind of been all over the place. You played volleyball at Wichita State. You interned in Massachusetts. You were a GA at K-State. You were an assistant strength and conditioning coach at CU. How did all of those experiences shape and prepare you for your role here at WT?
So I think you take a little bit from every single person that you work with, no matter what profession you work in, whether you're a coach, a teacher, if you're in the corporate world. Like every person that you work with, you take a little bit from them, whether it's their coaching style, it might be how they program, it might be what you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. So I think every single person that I've worked with, starting with working with my college strength coach, Carrie Rosenboom, to interning for Mike in Boston, to up until I got here in 2007, taking pieces from each of those people that I had the honor of working with and building my own philosophy and how I wanted to approach things. Now granted, that's changed a lot over the years, just that I've been here, because things have changed, and the people say that the kids haven't changed, but they've definitely changed. And so just the approach of how we do things has evolved mm-hmm. every year.
Very interesting. Like you said, you lived in Hereford for 5 years, and then you went out and journeyed all over the nation. Did you ever imagine you'd come back here to the Panhandle?
7th grade through March of my junior year, Hereford. Moved here because of my dad, and he worked for Cargill and was a cattle buyer. Probably the most impactful time in my life, just because that's when I got into sports. Mm-hmm. And I had some amazing coaches, Brenda Kitten, who won a ton of volleyball games, and I was able to, have some fun playing volleyball in Hereford. And I think the biggest thing is the people. It always came back to the people of Hereford and of the Panhandle. And when this job was posted, when I was working at CU, I had some family in Colorado. My parents were still in Wichita, and I thought, well, it's a brand new position. I wanted to prove that a female could work with football, and it was a brand new program to start from scratch, so that's a huge challenge. And then lastly, I knew what type of kids were going to come and be athletes here, and that's who I wanted to work with.
You work with a lot of teams here on campus. You're incredible at what you do. Take me through how you plan the workouts for your athletes.
So I think first thing we do is we look at the time of the year, whether a team is in season, if they're in off season, if we're in summer, and then what really needs to be emphasized. So if we're looking at an in-season team, we might only get them 1 to 2 times a week. So making sure we're hitting those major movements and keeping them strong throughout their playing season, and balancing off what they're already getting in practice. So we already know they're conditioning in practice. They're already, volleyball's already jumping a ton, so we don't need to jump in here. And then when you get into the off season, that's when there's more time with us, right? So that's when we want to get stronger, work on some speed development, change of direction, and then for summer, for our fall sports, as you got to experience, that's when we do a lot of conditioning. Mm-hmm. So we really ramp up that aerobic component and make sure that you're prepared for camp. We can't prepare you for camp completely, but do as much as we can to get you ready for 2 practices a day for a week or 2, depending on how the year falls, and make sure that you're ready and available for your coach. I mean, the biggest thing is, our number one goal in here is to make sure that the student athletes are available.
Chocolate milk is a big deal around here. So much so, we put it on the back of shirts.
That's right.
You really emphasize and encourage your athletes to drink chocolate milk post-workout. Why is that?
So probably mid-2000s, there was a big push from the milk industry using chocolate milk as a recovery fuel. And so when I got here, we didn't have a budget to do anything nutritionally. So it's like, is there any way we could do some trade or something to get some chocolate milk for the weight room? And so it started off just, getting planes to bring it to our sweet old milk box. All the OGs will remember the old milk box. Now the cooler is there, but it's a 3-to-1 carb to protein ratio. So after a workout, you've burned all that glycogen. We want to put some of that carbohydrate back in, and then the protein to help repair your muscles. So it's that, and it's easy and it tastes good.
That was always one of my favorite parts about the workouts. Is a nice sweet treat afterwards.
I honestly think some people just come here for the chocolate milk, and that's fine. But whatever it takes. If we gotta give you chocolate milk to bribe you to come to the weight room, then it's a means to the end, right?
Yeah, it's a good motivator. It's a good motivator. Well, if anybody knows Ramey, when you're not on or watching a volleyball game or a basketball game or a football game or baseball game, whatever it is, you are mountain biking. You do it competitively and you do it recreationally. When did that start?
I wish I could say I was still doing a ton of that. I need to get back on the bike a little bit more. But started out just, road biking probably in 2009, right after I got here and kind of got settled. Road biking turned into an Ironman because of a dare from a college teammate. So I did 4 Ironmans, did some half Ironmans or 70.3s, whatever you want to call them. And then in 2015, I finally started taking advantage of Paladaro Canyon. How can you not love that place?
Right up the road.
Started to get out there more, ride mountain bikes. Rode with some guys around here that taught me really how to ride. Dr. Jackson was one of our engineering professors that we did Ironman together, did mountain bike together. And then a lot of us got into riding gravel bikes. So it's like combination between a road and a mountain bike. And we obviously have a ton of dirt roads around here. So went and did a 200-mile bike race in Kansas one year. That was fun. Up by Emporia, we stayed in the dorms at Emporia State and had a party on bikes for a lot of hours.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, it's just a way to stay competitive, and because when you stop playing, you want to find something, and watching all of you compete is one thing, but and just the challenge of the different types of cycling, and so. And then just getting to see the country. There's things that I've seen on the back of the bike that, you're never going to see in a car, and it's a lot faster than hiking. And it also reminds me a lot of, I grew up riding horses, and so being out in the pasture and being on a bike, that, there's a lot of similarities between just kind of the peace of mind and the mental clarity that you can get not thinking about anything when you're out riding a bike.
Well, last question, since this is our Thanksgiving edition, I know a lot of us, me included, are going to indulge in all the Thanksgiving foods. What is the go-to Thanksgiving workout when you need to, get back in shape or maintain whatever you've been working on? What's the go-to?
I would say the biggest thing on Thanksgiving is either get your workout in early, or instead of taking the post-Thanksgiving coma nap, go for a walk. Get outside and get your body systems going instead of letting everything shut down. So the post-meal walk would probably be what I would go to on Thanksgiving, just to help that blood glucose settle in and not stay so elevated. Get your muscles working and have it soak up some of all that goodness that you just took in with the sweet potatoes and pie and the turkey. That's my favorite part.
Yes,
so.
I'm taking a mental note of that because I will definitely need it.
The walk.
Yes.
Take a walk.
Yes, taking a hike.
Yep.
After the meal. Well, thank you, Ramey, for working me out again. We're throwing it back a little bit.
That's right.
Going through a workout. It was a lot of fun getting to chat with you and learn more about your background, and it was a really, really good catch up.
Thanks, Corin, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy
Buff
Thanksgiving.
Nation.
Go Buffs.